I hereby call to order this meeting of the Arizona Boxing and Mixed Martial Arts Commission. Today is Wednesday, July 20th, and the time is 11:05 a.m. Would those commissioners that are in attendance please identify themselves and state as to whether they are here in person, via telephone, or via Google Meets?
Mr. Chairman, this is Joe Pennington. I'm participating via Google Meets and telephone.
Perfect. Thank you, Commissioner. I'm Scott Fletcher. I'm participating via telephone. And I don't believe we'll see Commissioner Feinstein, but maybe he chimes in. We'll see. But let's press on. Item A. All right, just trying to get there. I'm sorry. Item A we've done with, and item B is our new business pursuant to ARS sections 5-227, 5-228, and AAC R19-2-C604 for persons over the age of 36. The new license application submitted by Mr. David Cackler for a 2022 Amateur MMA athlete's license. Mr. Vello, will you speak to Mr. Cackler's application, please?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Cackler is a healthy 37-year-old. When he and I spoke yesterday, he informed me that his training sessions are 2 hours on average. He usually trains 3 to 4 times a week. And typically his training regimen consists of running 3 days a week, sparring once or twice a week, and strength and conditioning twice a week. He is excited about his upcoming bout and let me know that although this is his first amateur bout, he has trained with pros for many years, and he has a background in kickboxing for the past 4 years. So,
very good. Do you have a recommendation for us, Mr. Vella?
Yes, sir. With that, my recommendation is that we approve his application.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Pennington, any thoughts or questions regarding this application?
No, Mr. Chairman, given the executive director's comments regarding the training regimen and his preparation for the upcoming fight, I have no questions.
I am in the same camp. The chair would be open to a motion if there is one.
Mr. Chairman, I move that pursuant to ARS 5-227, 5-228, and AAC R19-2-C604, that we grant a new amateur MMA license to Mr. David Cackler, being a fighter over age 36.
Thank you, Commissioner. I will second that motion. We now have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 2-0. Congratulations, Mr. Cackler. We look forward to your future exploits. Item B2 is pursuant to ARS sections 5-227, 5-228, and AAC R19-2-C604 for persons over the age of 36. The renewal license application submitted by Mr. Roberto Yong for a 2022 professional boxing athlete license. Mr. Vella, will you speak to Mr. Yong's application, please?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Yong is 38 years old. He's relatively healthy with the information that's been provided to me. He trains every day. He says he does a lot of conditioning and strength training. He spars 2 to 3 times a week. And on occasion, he likes to lift weights when he's not close to an upcoming bout. He feels great about his upcoming bout and is very close to competition weight. Doesn't have much to lose. With that, sir, I recommend his approval.
Thank you, Mr. Vella, and thank you for detailed training regimen piece. It really helps us. Commissioner Pennington, thoughts, questions regarding this application?
No, Mr. Chairman. I note that Mr. Young has had a long professional career. It looks as though he's had 7 victories, 20 losses, 5 victories by KO, and 5 knockouts. So I am a little concerned because of the record, and I'm just concerned because of the record. So I think we need to be cautious about how we go about pairing Mr. Young with any other professional boxer, at least at this point, until we have better clarification. But otherwise,
Agreed, Commissioner.
Otherwise, pursuant to ARS 5-227, 5-228, and AAC R19-2-C604, that we grant a renewal license application for Mr. Robert Yong for a 2022 professional boxing athlete's license.
Thank you, Commissioner. We have a motion which I am going to second. We now have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 2-0. Mr. Vella, if you keep an eye on matchmaking in all cases, but in cases of fighters with upside down records, matchmaking is critically important. So you might put a note there.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Item B3 is pursuant to ARS sections 5-227, 5-228, and AAC R19-2-C604 for persons over the age of 6. The renewal license application is submitted by Mr. John Moraga for a 2022 professional boxing athlete license. Mr. Vella.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So Mr. Moraga is a 38-year-old. He trains 1 to 2 hours a day. He says he does lots of running, bag work, sparring. And he said strength and conditioning is very important to him, and it's a regular element of his regimen. He informed me that he only had 6 weeks notice for his upcoming bout, and he was, prior to that 6 weeks, he was relatively inactive, but he said he's been pushing himself and has been very active and feels ready to fight now. He's actually rematching his last opponent from December of 2021, to which he lost a unanimous decision, but he said that he feels this time the results may be different. With that,
Thank you.
I recommend his approval.
Thank you, Mr. Vella. Commissioner, any thoughts regarding Mr. Moraga's application?
Mr. Chairman, not at this time. I am a little bit concerned that he was taking this on a short notice, 6 weeks, although that can be a pretty good training camp if the fighter has been conditioning prior to that. Based on our executive director's comments, I'm a little concerned, but it appears as though Mr. Moraga is going to be fighting someone that he has fought before. So I'm kind of waiving some of my concern.
Very good.
With that said, if a motion is appropriate, I would move that pursuant to ARS 5-227, 5-228, excuse my voice, and AAC R19-2-C604, that we grant a renewal license application to Mr. John Moraga for a 2022 professional boxing athlete license.
Thank you, Commissioner. We have a motion. I'm going to second that motion. We now have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 2-0. Best of luck to you, Mr. Moraga. B4 is pursuant to ARS sections 5-227, 5-228, and the AAC R19-2-C604 for persons over the age of 36. The new license application submitted by Mr. Mickey Bay for a 2022 professional boxing athlete license. Mr. Vella, will you speak to this application, please?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So I'd like to, first of all, comment the fact that Mr. Bay is currently suspended. So I'm just that's pending a clearance letter. So this application is contingent upon that. So he's 39 years old. When I spoke with him, he informed me he trains 2 to 3 hours a day, usually 5 to 6 days a week. He spars 2 or 3 times a day, and strength training and running multiple times a week. He said he feels great about his upcoming bout, and his goal is to become the oldest lightweight champion in history soon.
Yeah, how you doing, guys? I'm on the line. I'm using my friend's phones. It's under the name James, but I'm here, and I'm looking forward to fighting in the great state of Arizona.
Thank you, Mr. Bay. I appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
Mr. Vella, will you speak to the suspension and the current status of that, please?
Yes, sir. So just waiting on documentation. Due to HIPAA, I can't, specify exactly what it is in regards to. But
I think it was because that was my last fight. You know how they kind of do the automatic suspension period after you fight.
yes, sir. Well, we just need a clearance
Yeah.
letter, Mr. Bay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll
Okay,
clarify that.
Commissioner Pennington, what are your thoughts regarding this?
Mr. Chairman, where did what commission issued the suspension?
That was New York.
New York?
Yes, sir.
And have you been in contact with them, Mr. Vela? Do you expect a clearance letter here shortly?
It would be coming from a physician. So Mr. Bay essentially will need to submit that to New York Commission, and they'll clear it. They haven't received documentation yet.
Okay, thank you. What is your recommendation in this regard, Mr. Vela?
My recommendation is that contingent upon New York lifting that suspension, that we approve Mr. Bay.
Perfect, thank you. Commissioner Pennington, what are your thoughts? Anything?
Mr. Chairman, I agree with our executive director that once we receive the clearance of the suspension, that we could go ahead, that he could go ahead and be licensed. But of course, first we need a motion to do that. And if it's appropriate, I would go ahead and make that motion.
Please.
Mr. Chairman, pursuant to ARS 5-227, 5-228, and AACR 19-2-C604 for persons over age 36, I move that we grant a new license application for Mickey Bay for 2022 professional boxing athlete license, provided that we receive a clearance letter from the New York Boxing Commission regarding his suspension.
Thank you, Commissioner. I am going to second that motion. We now have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 2-0. Congratulations, Mr. Bay. We look forward to you fighting in the great state of Arizona. Appreciate you calling in. Appreciate your time.
All right. Thanks a lot. Thank you. See you soon.
Take care now.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right. See you soon.
Item B5 is pursuant to ARS sections 5-227, 5-228, and AACR 19-2-C604 for persons over the age of 36. The new license application submitted by Mr. Diego Vicente Perez for a 2022 professional boxing athlete license. Mr. Bella.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So with Mr. Perez's approval, I do recommend that we table this for the next meeting. I was informed that he was recently injured, and I haven't received all required documentation.
Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and table that and push it to our next meeting, or if need be, a special. But yes, please table that.
Okay.
And that concludes our new business. Gets us into C, our information reports. C1 is our event reports. The following events were paid and approved by the executive director from June 23rd, 2022 to July 19th, 2022. The first is a request from Rough Nation LLC for approval of an MMA event to be held at the Blue Water Resort in Parker, Arizona on Saturday, August 20th, 2022. The second is a request from Del Sol Boxing for approval of a boxing event to be held at the Glendale Civic Center in Glendale, Arizona on Saturday, September 3rd, 2022. Well, those are great, Mr. Bella. We haven't been out to Blue Water in a few years, so I'm excited to see Ruff doing that, and the Del Sol event at Glendale Civic Center is going to be a fun one too. So those are good ones.
Yes, sir. And I would like to note that the Ruff event at the Blue Water is contingently approved. We're just awaiting the IGA renewal with the tribe.
Okay, good. That's a good group of folks out there. That's Colorado River, I think CRIT
Yes,
is what they call themselves. Yeah. And it's been oh gosh, it's probably been 3 or 4 years. We used to do a lot of events out there with them, and that will be fantastic to get back in there with them. So all good things. Commissioner Pennington, any thoughts?
Mr. Chairman, I agree with your expressed thoughts. I do want to see the IGA. I hope that we can get it as a 3-year with a 3-year renewal, but we'll see how that works.
Agreed. Yeah, Mr. Vela, the longer these things are, the better they are, I think, for everyone involved. So 3 years is good, and anything short of that isn't quite as good. But having an agreement with them is always great. So if you need any help with any of that, please let us know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we move on to item D, which is the call to the public. Mr. Vela, is there anyone who wants to chat with us?
Yes, sir, there is. I've got Mr. Heath Curley who would like to comment.
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you. This is Heath Curley. I'm a owner of the Old School Boxing Gym in Phoenix, and we are wanting to be able to put in for a new boxing promotion company. And I guess this is the manner in which we let you guys know, I guess, our intentions, and then we give you all the paperwork and all the details that we need to fulfill and decide on it by next meeting, I guess. Is that correct?
That's kind of typical. Yeah, I would suggest you have a phone conversation with Mr. Vela. He can walk you through all of it and get you up and running. We're excited to have you on board.
Okay.
It's always good to have new people involved, and it's, as you already know, it's a great fight town and a great fight state. So there's some great things you can do. But I would definitely try and get on the phone with Mr. Vela, because he's been at this and understands what you need to do and not do and all that stuff. So he'll get you up and running. Yeah. So yeah, do get your application together so at the next meeting we can talk about it and you can hopefully move forward.
Okay, awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for your help. And definitely will pick up the phone and talk to Mr. Vela. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Vela, anyone else?
Mr. Chairman, I don't see any other hands up at this time, and I haven't been made aware of anybody else that would like to speak.
Okay. Let's keep pushing then. Item E is the call to the commission. Commission members or the executive director may introduce a summary of current events, ask questions, and or make comments. Commissioner Pennington, anything on your mind?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for asking. I want to thank Mr. Villela for providing us with the boxing rec printouts on each of the fighters. I find those to be very helpful, much better than we were getting in prior years. And so I thank you very much for providing that to us. I also want to commend him for setting up a computer license application where the fighters or promoters or whomever can just simply log in and fill out the forms. And we have eliminated the need for printing or paper forms and handwritten documents that we can't read. And I think he's done a great job in putting all that together. That's something that we had been looking forward to for several years, but we're waiting for the state and its needs to do it. And our executive director just took the bull by the horns and did it himself. So I thank him for that.
I'll say the same. I agree. It's Mr. Vela hasn't been around here all that long, but he's made some dramatic progress in a lot of important places. I think it's because when he showed up, there were 200 boxes full of old application paperwork and other stuff in his office. He couldn't get near his chair, I think, because of all of it. So paperless is far better. And Mr. Vela, thank you so much for trying to streamline us and bring us into the new century.
Well, absolutely. Thank you for the kind words from both of you. And I think that, I always, anything I can do to improve the process and provide more information to the commission or to the public, I'm happy to do that. Now I do have some comments, just some updates on some things. The first one was going to be that we are going digital. So to the public, just so you know, we're doing DocuSign licensing over the past couple of weeks. We've been kind of in a trial period, and now everything's really working well. Same thing with online payments. We still occasionally will get a money order in or a check in the mail or hand delivered. It's best just to take care of all of that online. And then some of my other comments is just that commission staff, we're going to be at the ABC conference from July 22nd to the 28th. So from this Friday to next Thursday. So I just want everybody to know that we may be out of touch, so you might experience a little delay in our response time, but nonetheless, we will get to you. And then lastly, I just want everyone to know that, combative sports is definitely alive and well here in Arizona. We've been working hard, and we've got just about every weekend we have 2 events on the calendar. So we're definitely getting where we want to go.
Very good. Thank you. It's all good news. Enjoy that ABC event. That's a special event, and you get to see perspectives from tiny tribal commissions and giant states and Canadians, and it's fascinating. So make sure you get out there and shake some hands and meet everybody, because it's being done, unfortunately, differently in many different spots, and it's kind of tricky, dealing with some of these other commissions, but you can make some great contacts at that thing and learn some really interesting things too. So enjoy that. That'll be a special trip.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mr. Yellow, where's the meeting held?
It's going to be in Niagara Falls, New York.
Oh, tough. Leave 109 degrees and go up. That'll be great. Enjoy.
There you go.
Yes,
It is well timed, isn't it? Although a couple of years ago we had them all in Scottsdale when it was 109 degrees. So
yeah, or New Orleans, which is a great town, but 95 degrees and 110% humidity. It's not too good. But
no, those are really interesting meetings, because they get all sorts of interesting characters from various walks and different aspects of combat sports. So take plenty of notes, spend a lot of time with those folks, because it'll be a special time for you. I'm happy you're going. I don't have anything I necessarily need to talk about. Mr. Bell, are you done?
Yes, sir. That concludes my comments.
Okay. Well, then
Mr. Chairman, I'm done.
It's about time. Thank you. Item F is the announcements. The next regularly scheduled commission meeting will be at 11 a.m. on Wednesday, August 24th, 2022, and is subject to change based on a quorum, which leads us to G, the possibility of adjournment. Is there a motion for adjournment by chance?
Mr. Chairman, I move we adjourn.
I'm going to second that motion. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 2-0. We are officially adjourned. Thank you all for your time and interest and help with all this. We are headed in the right direction. Good things await. Take care now.